Story 1. Husband dropped wife off at the airport. A coworker sends him a picture of her in Vegas. After 38 years of marriage, 3 grown married children, and 5 precious grandchildren, she pulls this SHT. I have worked my ass off to finally be debt-free and 2 years away from retirement. She tells me she is in Arizona for an educators conference she is required to attend. I dropped her lying ass off at the airport with plans to pick her up Thursday. A coworker of mine is in Vegas for a PBR event. He sends me a picture of her in a casino with our primary care physician. So, it's Christmas and all the kids are coming here. I have looked forward to hunting with my son and grandsons. I don't know if I should blow the thing to hell or play it cool until after Christmas. I guess I could gather more evidence if I just pick her up and act as if all is well. I am not sure I can do that. But the other choice is to devastate my children at a terrible time of the year. This bitch sang a solo in church Sunday before she caught a flight on Monday to spend the week effing the doctor. I have never suspected her cheating in over 40 years of our relationship. I damn sure never have. I guess the life I was so secure in is over. I am glad my parents are not here to see this. I may just catch a flight tomorrow and find their ass. Probably use different names. The hell of it is both my brothers are dead and there is nobody I can tell this SHT to. Maybe the pastor. Hell, she is probably blowing him too. Update. I came home from the camp last Thursday evening. She was home. I was exhausted from not being able to sleep, and our conversation was minimal. Friday night we had our Christmas gathering with her mother and 3 sisters at our house. I was able to pull that off without her suspecting anything. Saturday was gone most of the day, and after church Sunday I returned to my camp. My son and grandson met me and my oldest grandson there Sunday night. We hunted all week, and I have returned home tonight. We have no plans for tomorrow. Our children and grandchildren will attend church with us Sunday and then come here for Christmas lunch and gifts. I have been able to control my emotions in a manner no one has suspected the life-changing situation I am in. I have reconsidered the method I am going to use to reveal her affair. I am not going to confront her on Christmas. I have an appointment with my attorney Tuesday morning. I intend to get all the evidence he and the investigator have gathered, along with the divorce papers he has drawn up. I intend to have my son and 2 daughters come to our house for a family meeting and expose her affair to them as well as confront her at the same time. I want to do this Tuesday night. I am not sure at this point how I will confront the doctor and his wife. My intentions are to destroy his reputation and career through any means available to me. Thanks for your messages of support. Reader comment, I am a retired physician, virologist. You need to report him to the medical licensing board in your state. I would have lost my license for that if she was my patient and married on top of that. Also go meet with an administrator of the group he works for and would most certainly blow her world up to your family. Whether you do it now before she gets home or ambush her when everyone is there. I would probably do it before. After you confront your wife, make sure to let Dr. Fwad know what you have in store for him. Also check to see if you have alienation of affection laws in your state and if you do sue his ass for everything he has. Unless you live in an at-fault state, what more evidence do you need? If you live in an at-fault state or an AA state, don't say a word and hire a pie. You may even want to contact one in Vegas in the morning. Original poster, thanks. I hired a lawyer and a pie this afternoon. We all met at the lawyer's office and they both advised me on the course of action to take. I arranged for her sister to pick her up tomorrow, and I am at my camp for a few days. So far, I have been able to keep from telling her I know what she has done. It is hard not to confront both of them, but if I can keep from it, I will be better able to protect myself, plus gain more evidence. I can't sue him for alienation of affection, however, I intend to ruin his future. Reader comment, sorry you're on this sub my friend. Sounds like you know what you want to do and have a plan. Doesn't your wife question any of your behaviors as of late? Do you plan to bring any lawsuits? I sure wish I could have pursued that path when I caught my ex-WW cheating with her army general boss. Follow all your lawyer's directions on exposing the AP. You might affect your ability to bring a suit against him and his practice. Remember, AP's OBS probably has no idea. Be nice to her. Be careful when informing your family. It sounds like something that is needed. But I'd talk to your kids separately from your wife. Exposing your wife in front of your kids may be a little over the top and may damage your relationship with your kids. Do you plan to expose your wife to the church? Cheating is one of those hypocritical aspects I grew up despising in my church. There were so many cheaters, elders included, acting as though they were better than everyone else. My family didn't have money, but we didn't cheat. Did you or your family have any luck hunting? When I was dealing with my ex-WW cheating and divorce, the only place I felt at peace was out whitetail deer hunting in a shack or fishing for walleyes in my boat. I wish you well in this time of pain and sadness. Be well. Original poster, my children are grown. My son killed a good buck. Both chaps got a basket buck. 8 and 6 points. I want my children there to help monitor my emotions. The church will be aware. My wife sings in the choir with his wife. Update 1. We made it through Christmas with my children's grandchildren. and in-laws. 2. Monday morning I went and saw my pastor and told him the situation. He facilitated a meeting with me and AP's wife. 3. We agreed to confront our spouses on Monday night, requiring them to write a detailed letter of the affair. 4. I did and did not allow my wife to say anything to me. I told her I knew she was in Vegas and who she was with. I told her to write the letter of detail, and if there was any contradiction to evidence I had, there would no chance of reconciliation. 5. Tuesday morning I met with attorney and obtained evidence collected and received advice from my attorney. 6. Tuesday afternoon met with AP's employer demanding he be terminated. He was today. 7. Tuesday night my children came, and their mother told them what she had done. They are shocked and hurt. 8. My wife went home with my daughter and remains there still. 9. I am trying to decide my best course of action. I see no path to reconciliation. I will determine what other action to take with AP after I am sure of what I need to do with my own marriage. 10. She confessed to everything and gave an answer for every specific detail I required in her letter. Thanks for your well wishes. I am doing fine considering where I am. Update. Regarding update. I am going to try to answer your questions. 1. Did you ask her why? Of course, I asked why. She said she didn't know why. She described to me and my children that she felt like an addict. She knew she was destroying her life but would not stop. She told our children no child should ever have to be disappointed or embarrassed by their mother's immortality, that they didn't deserve the shame of a WHORE. I am not going to say all she has said to me, simply because I don't know if any of it is true. 2. How did she act? She is completely destroyed, remorseful, begging for forgiveness from me and children. She does understand what she has done. 3. How did my children react? By one telling her, and the other two agreeing, it would have been easier to bury you than this. 4. Do I want to be married? Sure, I do. That's why I didn't ever cheat on my wife. 5. Have I met the AP's wife and told her? Yes, we have met twice, communicated by phone and text several times. 6. Do I not care for his family by having him fired? I care more for the next patient's wife he gets a hard-on for. 7. Am I divorcing her? I don't know. 8. Have I sought therapy? Not at this time. What I need is for this to go away. If you know of anyone that can make that happen, by all means I will do therapy. I can tell you that every situation is unique in its elements, personalities, and complexities. I could and would have dealt differently at a different time of my life than I am now. It is very easy to know just what to do when you are behind a keyboard. Some of you are keyboard experts but are not very skilled in advice. Some of the comments you have made are without you knowing every nuance I am dealing with. Others have been a great source of strength. One Redditor has been a valuable source of wisdom, knowledge, and encouragement to me. He has helped me in more ways than I will even try to thank him for. It is very strange of my personality to have found such a kindred spirit with an anonymous soul. That is about all the questions I remember, but I am going to browse some subs for a while, so hell, just ask me whatever you want to know. It isn't like I got to spend quality time with my wife. She isn't chair. Oh yeah, why is she at my daughter's and not my in-laws? Her dad is dead, her mom is 84. WTH. I don't want her mom to have to deal with this BS. She is at my baby daughter and her husband's home. They have no children yet. The chance of her turning any of my children against me does not exist. But that is especially true of this little Spitfire. She is 10 years younger than her sister and 12 years than her brother. She has spent more hours in a deer stand, bay boat, office, truck with me than we could even begin to count. She won't even let her say the true things that are bad about me, much less lies. Plans for the weekend. I had a brother who was 14 years younger than me. He was a college professor and lived 8.5 hours from our hometown. He died in a motorcycle accident in 2017. He left one daughter who is now 24, married, and lives in another state than her mother, but has brought her new baby home to see her mother and in-laws. My Sil has never remarried. I called my Sil last night to find out when my niece was going back home. She is actually staying this week with her husband's parents, who are about 40 minutes from my Sil. My children are smothering me, so I am taking a road trip. I am going to meet my great-nephew, who is named after my brother and me. I will arrive late tonight. I asked her to reserve me a hotel room, to which she replied, "There is no way in hell that's happening. You will stay here and we will watch movies and eat ice cream. I don't know when I am coming back." I have not spoken to, seen or communicated with my wife since Tuesday night. I have blocked her number. I called my son and told him where I was going, and for him to go by the office and lease a rental property my company owns. It is a house renters moved out of and has been completely renovated with the intent to sell. I told him to inform his mother to come and get what she needed from our house and move in the rent house. She is to pay rent to my son, who will pay my company. I am having new keypad installed on gate and doors to my house Wednesday, so if she needs her stuff, now is the time to fetch it. Good weekend. When I called my Sil, I told her I would be coming alone to see my niece and her new baby. She asked me why my wife was not coming, and I just said there are some issues I will tell you when I get there. I got here around midnight, and she had just taken a hot pound cake out of the oven. It was the best thing I have eaten in weeks. I gave her all the details of my saga. I have teared up a few times, but as I went through all of it with her, I broke down and wept. She was very supportive and wept with me. She stroked my busted ego, and I guess I felt better after we talked. I went upstairs to bed about 3 yesterday morning. Yesterday morning she cooked me bacon and eggs for breakfast, and as I ate, she told me that I may make the rules and run the show back home, but not at her house. She then proceeded to tell me my schedule. 1. At 1 I had a haircut appointment. I needed a haircut when this all happened, and it was overdue, so I agreed. 2. After the haircut we were going to Dillard's and buy some clothes that fit me. I have lost over 30 pounds in 3 weeks. 3. I was going to go with her to a friend's house that was having a bonfire and fireworks for a little while last night. 4. I was going to go with her to church today, and she was going to go visit her parents this afternoon. 5. She is cooking supper tonight, and her daughter and son-in-law are coming to eat and visit. 6. Her son-in-law is taking me deer hunting tomorrow with dogs on an 8,000-acre timber lease he is a part of. He is off all week, and if I want to, I can stay and hunt all week if I want to, and she will wash my clothes and feed me. I have never done it, so I don't know what to expect. 7. We are not going to talk about my problems again until I leave to go home. So, hell, I did what I was told to do. She went with me to her regular salon. On the way there, she said I am going to use you to have some fun. When I introduce you, I am going to give them your first and middle name. I asked her WTH, and she just laughed and said just play along. I am going to give these bitches something to talk about. My middle name is my mother's maiden name, and that's how she introduced me to her hairstylist. During my haircut she asked me where I was from, and I told her Detroit. There is no way my accent would allow me to be from Detroit. My sil never missed a beat and said, he's a logger. Next stop Dillard's. I have not been shopping for anything in years. Wound up buying 3 new pants, 4 shirts, 2 pairs of shoes, a tie, and a Hart Schaffer Mark suit. According to her it is the only suit my brother would wear. I did not know he was so peculiar about his clothes. I also bought a new belt. The suit had to be hemmed, and she convinced them to do it while we waited. On the way home she told me I was going to be her date for the party in church. So, I was. She told me to look at her like I looked at a new gun so they would buy it. I went along with her, except at the party I was from Atlanta, and I sold road graders and had been married and divorced 4 times. At church this morning we got there late and left early because she doesn't want to be struck by lightning for lying in church. She sat right up under me and held my hand when we walked out. I have had a good time looking like Dumb and Dumber with my 46-year-old sil. She is cut up the whole time, and I have laughed, genuinely laughed. I have not done that for 3 weeks. I am going to hunt tomorrow and may stay until Wednesday, but I have to be at work Friday. I have talked to my son a couple of times. He thinks they need to try to get her some medical help. She evidently is not saying much and stays in her bedroom at my daughter's house most of the time. Her phone is dead, and he and my other daughter communicate with her through my youngest. The AP's wife sent her a long text in which she called her everything but a child of God. I have not communicated with my wife. She asked where I was and told my daughter I would never be able to forgive her, and she didn't blame me for not forgiving. My son said she looks like death. I still see no path to reconciliation. However, I am not going to file for divorce until I am completely sure. Some have said divorce and reconcile if I change my mind. That seems like a waste of time, energy, and money. When I decide to divorce, it will be final. I also am not going to sue AP if I don't divorce. If I do divorce, I will sue him to defray what the divorce settlement will be. Otherwise, I don't want his money. I have come to terms with the fact this is not going to end soon, and that my life will never be the same. I started keeping a journal today. I have realized it helps the order of my thoughts by writing them down. Thanks again for your encouragement. It has helped me. Reader comment, responding to some have said divorce and reconcile if I change my mind. That seems like a waste of time, energy, and money. When I decide to divorce, it will be final. Very much doubt anyone has suggested that. More likely, they suggested you file for divorce and dismiss it if you decide to reconcile, which is pretty good advice, depending on your state. Does cost money, but it makes it so that you have to actively do something to stop the process, and it means that when you do finally realize it's time to divorce, you've already started the very long process. Original poster, my comprehensive skills are fine. Just because you very much doubt something does not change the fact. My DMs have included far more ridiculous things than that. Story 2. I noticed the smell of cigarette in my wife's car. We don't smoke. Hi all, this is a throwaway account. My wife and I had been together since 1996. High school sweethearts in a way, but from different parts of the country, married for about 18 years. We were happy, did things together, had a kid. When our child was about 3, my wife started to act funny. She started to sit in a different chair in the living room away from me and be on her phone till very late. Like 3 a.m. late and come to bed then. Even when we went on a drive, on her phone. I was cleaning our truck out. This was my first tip. When I was cleaning it, I could smell smoke. We don't smoke, so where did it come from? I confronted her on this. She said that guy at work, her friend, she gave rides to the bus station. But yet there is a bus stop right outside her work. This went on for a while, just talking to a friend at work. Didn't think too much of it. Till her sex drive went crazy. We were always at it. And when she was on her period, I was still well taken care of. But then I noticed I would head to bed while she was chatting, then she would come up once I was in bed. Have some fun, then she would go back downstairs till 3 a.m. or so. Took me longer than it should, but I clued in. One night, I drew her a bath, candles, etc. Tried to remove all distractions, including her phone from the room. She got very defensive. That's when I knew I had to check. I got her laptop out and checked the FB chat. The chat with this guy wasn't really sexual, but she was opening up to him with stuff I didn't know over the years. It was overly friendly, work wife, work husband sort of thing. He consoled her about everything, and she was telling him when we played or did anything, and flirting. Spoke about me in not a great way. We don't like texting and driving, but the timestamps I could see she was chatting on the way home and going to work or anywhere else. It was a little too personal. Did my research to find out WTF was going on. That's when I found out that an emotional affair was a thing and could turn physical. I confronted her about it. She defended it all, of course. She spoke to Buddy about it, and he started to convince her I was being controlling. I don't care if my wife is a guy friend, or talks to guys. I have a problem with an affair, or talking till 3 a.m. every night. We fought. I told her she needs to cut off all contact. She was very reluctant till I went and got a suitcase. She clued in. They still tried to remain in contact. Wanted them to remain friends at work and not text as much. I shut it down fast. I demanded her to choose. Took me years of very low confidence to get past it. The sex life that she was sharing with me that was incredible and died off. During the time she was chatting, we're being at it every night, or near every night. After, maybe 4 times a month, and nothing on her period. I tried to speak to her about this and it turns to a petty party for her and I end up consoling her. Then it got worse. Rejection, rejection, rejection. So, I gave up trying to initiate. And she never did. So, it went to maybe once a month or less. Then we argued more and she got mad that I stopped trying. I said, why would I try to take a cookie if my hand keeps getting slapped away? Eventually, you're gonna stop trying. I even stopped touching her, you know, the hand holding, smacking the ass when walking by. Kissed her last night. Last time was last New Year's. Fast forward to a few months ago when I had a buddy over to watch a movie with me and my wife. We were all sitting on the large sofa in the basement watching the movie. This is large, like could sit 5 or 6 adults. I'm sitting on one corner. He is on the other and my wife is between us but closer to me. Not directly in the middle, but she is turned towards him, knees up kinda thing. I looked into this stuff before when I was doing my research. Body language is a real thing and my heart sunk and got very closed off. I can't even look at her. I want to speak to her about it, but I know how it's going to go. I just don't think I can continue another year like this. This isn't the first time. Long ago on our 2nd year together, not married yet. She went away for the summer. We had a fight because she would never contact me and I had no way to contact her. She cheated, had sex. It feels I'm always second choice. I think the best course would be to speak to her in a calm manner, but I'm open to any advice. Reader comment, Opus, why stay with this person? She has had one for sure, you know, of emotional affairs, and most likely more. It seems like you have picked up she has done something with your friend. When she is in the affair, she wants to screw your brains out. When you stop the she began neglecting any sexual intimacy with you. Would you want your son to allow a partner to do this to him? Then why should you accept this? You deserve better. The only way your life will get better is by you taking charge of it and your relationship. In order to potentially save a marriage, you have to be willing to lose it. Reader comment, Opus, now 14 years and the same situation happened to me within 3 years of marriage, along with many others. As of 27th of last year, my STBXW has only been faithful 3 years out of 14 years of marriage. I had already filed for divorce but have to suffer a little while longer. Opus, after the discovery of her first affair, you are the reason this has continued happening to you. You must read Leave a Cheater, Get a Life. I mean now. Grab an audio, ebook version if you must. Like myself, I can guarantee that you have failed every single step that one should take when they are being cheated on. Feel free to message me and I will give you any answer and support that I can give. Reader comment, sorry, Opus, but your marriage is over. There is no good reason to continue the charade. It will hurt like having your skin peeled off with a rusty knife for a while, but before long it will only hurt when you think about it. Then, after a bit longer, you'll stop thinking about it. Start the new year right. Be good to yourself. Don't give her an ultimatum, you've essentially already done that. Just protect your finances, see a lawyer, and get the ball rolling. Divorce is the end of a marriage but can be the beginning of a much better life. Story 3. She was cheating with a colleague in her office. Hello, 23-year-old male, caught my GF cheating on Sep 2022. We were the perfect couple, never had any problems, and all our goals were aligned. We were so close with each other, we never had any other genuine friends, as in, there were friends of us but we both were above all for each other. We were best friends before lovers. We got into a relationship when we were 15 years old. She was my first love. It effed me from inside when I figured out she was cheating with a colleague in her office. Everything was alright till May. It started with the AP in mid-June. I found out in Sep. These 3 months, she was managing both of us. A couple of instances led me to check her socials. One was when I surprised her and went to pick up her after work with flowers and chocolates, and she was not happy to see me. It was kinda weird for me because I sensed something was off. So checked her socials and found their messages and confronted her that night. She accepted. That was the worst day of my life. I couldn't believe my eyes. Didn't sleep for the whole night for the first time in my life. I was fully awake, anxious, betrayed, and whatnot. I don't know how to explain the feeling. I don't know if I am so naive or what. I tried to accept her after I figured it out in the beginning. She told me it was just a fling. I believed in her. But she didn't stop texting the AP. I even caught them in the supermarket coincidentally after her office. I was feeling SHT when I saw them together. I was about to leave but gathered myself and confronted them. She accepted and told both of us what she was doing and was sorry. She was not like that before. I just couldn't believe it. She was my best friend and my lover. She even told me we never had any problems, nor it was because of me that led her to take those steps. She tells me she does not have any feelings for me now and is guilty of what she has done to me. It's hard to believe to this date. It's been more than 3 months since this happened. Elle still sometimes wakes up with a heavy heart. I feel betrayed. I don't know how and when am I gonna heal from this. 8 years down the drain. I loved her. Sometimes I think how the hell I am gonna trust someone else. The one person that I had in my life from the very beginning. The one person I trusted the most betrayed me. Reader comment. The high school sweethearts thing is nice, but very few people don't start wondering at some point what they missed out on and decide to explore it. You now have the chance to explore it, and I am sure over time, you will find someone way better than if you had just stayed with her your whole life. I guarantee in 20 years, you will look back and think about what a bullet you dodged and how you two were actually not that compatible. It was just the inertia of meeting when you did. Reader comment. Opus. It wasn't your fault. You did nothing wrong. Do not feel guilty. You deserve better. Try to realize that the love you feel for that person is a memory. That person is gone. You need to grieve over the loss of your loved one. It's okay to remember the happy times, but remember, the person you loved is gone and they're not coming back. You need to now focus on you. Reader comment. She was your first love. Were you her first love? You can look at these one of two ways. She was never the person you thought she was and was always putting on a facade for you, or she's no longer the person you thought she was, and that person isn't coming back. If she can lie to your face now, she may have been lying to you all along. At some point, her relationship with the new guy will end. If she comes back to you, don't take her back. She will just hurt you again.